A little more update on the Sinadder 5. Took the leads off of the XLR, all the heat shrink that was shrunk on to fix up the basically buffer up the cable to a thickness where this would screw down and clamp down. But I'm not going to use this. This will come in handy. It's both a male and female. Screw apart, solder, and reattach. So that'll be nice to use. Also came with a nice piece of Velcro that I'll use as cable management. Always nice. So I already have the heat shrink on this side and the heat shrink down here. We're going to put all this back together. The positive negative leads already got a tinning, so that's good. And yeah, now it's time to make it whole again. There is something very satisfying of using heat shrink and heating gun to shrink it down. It is awesome. Got one more piece to go. Go ahead and put that on as well. But yeah, heat shrink is your friend. Just pop the top cover off the Sinadder 5 here, and we do have our test leads back to normal. Both alligator clips there, everything all nice and heat shrunk up the way it should be. Now I was looking here, it doesn't look like they have the ground float mod done, or if it was done, it's been re-enabled. I may do that. But yeah, everything on this board is upside down. Just a couple of components on this side. But this is the, I guess the 102-150 Bravo 3 edition. The helper instruments Sinadder 5. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the other side of the cover off. Look at that side too. And looking on the other side of the board here, I see this fuse, and that's the fuse for this thing, and I'm like, man, that looks like it's not there, but it is a 1/10 amp fuse, 250 volts. So yeah, if you think you don't have power, that may be an issue that you got to check. I do see coming right out of this these tiny wires that go directly in from the AC mains, very small, going through that switch power on and off and everything. And we do have the 12 volt side and the transformer. It obviously doesn't take a lot of amperage to run. And we have a lot of aerial caps in here. I may do that down the road here. But yeah, this is the top side of the Sinadder 5. So I'm going to go ahead while I have the covers off, maybe do a little different little paint on it. These seem to have, well, missing feet, so I'm going to take care of that as well. I'm just going to actually peel them off and just trash them. And I always keep a whole bunch of bags of these things everywhere. But yeah, these little rubber feet always end up coming in handy. There was one I had, but I found a whole pack here that haven't been used yet. We're going to go ahead and add those rubber feet to the bottom side there, paint up that covers, a little bit of scuffs and scratches, no big deal. And just a couple on this as well, scratch it right there. And on the lid on the front and on the back side. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, welcome to outside. We're hanging out with the old Cairo. He's out there doing his thing. Goodness, boy. He's crazy. Anyway, we go ahead, and I believe we have similar color at least for our design. So I hope this paint will work. So let me go ahead and paint these up. What is going on? It is Eric. We're back again here talking about the Sinadder Linear 5. Of course, I do have the cases all repainted here. I got some nice rubber feet on the bottom there, so that'll be good. Ended up doing a recap on it. Of course, it had axle caps, but I ended up just putting in my radial caps. One last thing we're going to do is the floating ground mod, which you can see over here. I actually didn't do it yet, but it looks like it was disturbed at some point in time, so I can lift that, and we're going to add, of course this is a monster, but it can be a little bit smaller, 275 volt, that's why it's so big, but it's a 1 microfarad capacitor, so we're basically going to cut that trace that's tied right there to the ground. That is our test leads in. We're going to do the floating ground mod. basically this will go inside here and then go to this original leads, and then we'll just have it go to here. We'll have to place it in there a little bit nice and neat since this is a little bit larger. Probably just flip it that way, but anyway, we'll be back after we do that. Well, that was a pretty painless process to install the floated ground here. Just used an X-Acto knife to cut off that very small trace that was going to ground. Added the 1 UF cap, soldered it in. We're good to go. So I'm ready to put this all back together with these beautiful case covers and new feet and get it into service. Well, continuing on and finalizing the series, at least for right now, we have the Sinadder Linear 5 all put back together. And yeah, we have a little bit of a brighter gray color to the Sinadder Linear 5. The nice black screws on it. I think it's fine. It does what it needs to do by just, as any paint does, not to make it look pretty, but to resist a little bit of rust and seal up the metal. So that's what I wanted to do, make sure this case stays in very good shape. And of course, we have some feet on the bottom. So all black feet now on this one. On both sides, always needed. Because, yeah, tilty little bench equipment, never fun.